Now that I have your attention, say, do you play video games? I play a lot of games. Many of them just so happen to be Valve games. And oh yeah, I happen to play quite a few of them.
Holy Jesus. What the is that?
This is not a joke. Please, for the love of God, never allow yourself to be devoured by a game like me. And do you want to know the best part? To the many more dedicated Dota players out there, this is rookie numbers.
You guys realize I hit 15,000 hours of Dota during this finals.
And what a way to hit it.
15,000 hours, whatever they have, I have more than them.
That's just a weird game.
Yes, the game that considers you still playing the tutorial if you have less than 2k hours in it. I'm just joking. Or am I? I don't know anymore. I can't tell where the jokes and sincerity end and the irony begins. Let's get back on topic before I lose that precious viewer retention. Valve games, in particular, invoke a lot of passion and dedication from those who play them. Many of the Valve games have insane levels of gameplay depth, both single-player and multiplayer. And it shows. People out there have tens of thousands of hours in their respective Valve game. Whether that be Dota 2, like some unfortunate souls who will remain nameless. The other big contender is of course Counter-Strike. And don't get it twisted, just because these two esports juggernauts ask a lot of hours from those who play them, does not mean that competitive equals thousands of hours of playtime. No, no, no. Because other games, like for example, Team Fortress 2, it is very common to see players out there who've been playing this game for almost 2 decades and naturally have thousands upon thousands of hours in it. And I would argue that unlike Dota 2 and Counter-Strike, TF2 is almost exclusively carried by its sheer fun factor and the personality and charm of its game and characters. Not to say that these two games are lacking in that department. Okay, maybe Counter-Strike is lacking character just a little bit. I mean, does it even have named characters? I guess it's got, I don't know, the elite crew from the original Counter-Strike, I guess. But you get my point. Valve games just seem to strike this perfect balance of charm, gameplay depth, and just lasting endurance, despite Valve's best efforts to the contrary. I'm looking at you, TF2. When are we getting a new update? Valve. That summer update doesn't count. What I'm basically trying to say is I'm just constantly amazed that so many people have so many playtime in Valve games. And of course, single-player games are included in that. Hell, a member on my Discord has managed to accrue over 1,000 hours in Half-Life 1. The main reason being that Half-Life 1 and Valve games in general, specifically the single-player games, have amazing mod support. And that honestly is a huge benefit for Valve games. The ability to mod their games truly extends the shelf life of any game way longer than it naturally should be. In fact, a game having mod support effectively, in my opinion, makes a game immortal. As long as there is passion behind a specific game and mod support, it ensures that that game can get new content forever. You see it with Half-Life and you see it with other older games as well. And it's so easy for these games to really get their hooks into you. There's a term that I'd like to use a lot. I'm not sure if someone else coined it, but it is a term that I refer to many games quite often. Forever games. Almost anyone who calls themselves a gamer can at least say that they have a forever game of their own. Whether you're a dedicated World of Warcraft player,
oh shit, we're all going to die, we don't exceed this perfectly, and we are not at that moment we kick some ass and we got to live.
I was playing walking role.
I worked at Blizzard for 7 years, and we are not at that moment we kick some ass and we just run. Run.
an Arma 3 fanatic,
Why have we called fire support at 225199?
Team 1
Burn, burn.
fucking scatter! Get the
helicopter
fuck
pilot's
out!
gonna die.
Oh! What the fuck?
a zoomer in Fortnite who stole your mom's credit card, Obviously, many other games and companies invoke the same amount of passion from their fans. Valve isn't special in that regard. All popular games have a distinction between casuals and hardcore fans. However, there's that little spot in the middle, that gray area between the casuals and the hardcore fans. Let's call it the gray area. where everyone from semi-hardcore, semi-casual, intermediate fans, all of those people stay in that gray area. And all games have this. For example, in fighting games, you have hardcore players who take every little mechanic of the game seriously and know everything like the back of their hand, and the casual would be your drunk friend at a party who has never played a fighting game in their lives and is just mashing the controller. In my opinion, I would place myself here. Many gamers reside in the gray area of their specific game. Now, the reason that I bring this up, and by the way, I could be completely wrong about this, I'm basing this purely off of anecdotal evidence. In my opinion, many of Valve's games, the gray area is a lot more skewed one way compared to other games. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to illustrate this to get my point across. So these are just a few games and examples that I want to use to kind of show off what I'm talking about. Beneath each game is a bar. The color green is supposed to be where all the casuals live. Red is where all the serious pro competitive players are. And the gray is where everyone else lives, the intermediates, the semi-casuals, the semi-dedicated fans, the people who know the game but don't take it that seriously, etc, etc. If I'm being completely honest, if you've spent maybe more than 100 hours in any given game, I think you could qualify for being in the gray of your respective game. So I'm just going to talk briefly about each example showcased in this little illustration. First up, we have Call of Duty and Team Fortress 2. Now, these are both FPS games with a reputation of being casual or being easy to pick up and play. So naturally, the green is a lot higher. However, because of Team Fortress 2's age, and I guess deceptively deeper mechanics, in my opinion, I'm extremely biased, I know, but I truly do think Team Fortress 2 is a more complex game than even modern Call of Duties. It is for that reason that I think the gray of TF2 is a lot bigger than Call of Duty's. You also notice that the red of both games doesn't bleed much into the gray. Rather, it kind of stops abruptly, because I truly believe that there is a huge difference between intermediate Call of Duty and TF2 and pro Call of Duty and TF2. Like, they're worlds apart. Moving on to the other side of this illustration, we have the two Valve esports juggernauts, Dota 2 and Counter-Strike. Now granted, you can probably apply this graph to other well-known competitive online games like League of Legends or maybe Rainbow Six Siege, but I'm more familiar with Dota 2 and CS, and even then, I think the red of Dota 2 and CS would be a lot bigger compared to those other games. As you can see, there is a rather abrupt change from the green into the gray, and then the gray gradually changes into the red. You'll also notice that these two games have the biggest red in their bar compared to the other games on this list. I think if you had to have a face for competitive video games from 2010 all the way to the beginning of the 2020s, Dota 2 and Counter-Strike are very strong candidates for that face. They're pillars of competitive esports. So naturally, the red in their bar is rather big. And finally, just to help round out this example, we got Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8. I just wanted to show off these two fighting games because I kind of think it offers a nice little perspective to these other games. Similar to Call of Duty and Team Fortress 2, the green of their bar is rather sizable, with a decent amount of bleed through into the gray. And the same happens for the competitive side as well, with the red side being decently big, bleeding into the gray area right in the middle. Fighting games are usually seen as a rather niche genre of games, but that being said, it still has a massive casual appeal, and given the fact that fighting games is probably one of the oldest game genres out there, naturally there's also a strong demand for competitive fighting games. And I think Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 are kind of the front runners in that regard. And finally, just to help really round out this little selection, I also added Minecraft and the Olympics, I guess, just because I wanted to show off what would happen if a game had the extreme of red or the green. Minecraft obviously doesn't have a competitive side. Yes, I understand that there are some competitive Minecraft speedrunners out there, but I'm not going to count that for this example. Besides, even if you did, Minecraft is so widely played that the competitive players make up a tiny amount of the player population. And finally, we have the Olympics, just because I wanted to show off a type of game where literally everyone is at the top of their field, the best of the best. The only reason that there's a little bit of green there is because I heard the story of Eric Musambani during the Summer Olympics of 2000. It's a wild story. I would highly recommend Cuxer's video on it. I'll link it in the video description below. TLDR, you don't have to be a lifelong pro to participate in the Olympics, let's just say that. But going back on topic on Valve games, I could be completely wrong about this assessment, but from my understanding and what I see as a extremely biased Valve fan, it truly does seem like the gap between dedicated fans and casuals is a lot smaller when it comes to Valve's titles. Many gamers have heard of Half-Life, sure, many gamers have even heard of it and never played it, but many of them who have played it absolutely swear by it. The same goes for Portal, for Counter-Strike, for TF2, for Dota. Almost all gamers know of these games, and many of them have even tried it or dipped their toes into it. But the moment that those games get their hooks into you, you'll end up sinking hundreds of hours at the bare minimum, thousands of hours if the hooks are really embedded deep, and tens of thousands of hours if you're a hardcore fan. And it shows. So many people have so many hours in Valve games. I said that earlier in the video, but I need to stress it again. My 9,000 hours in Dota 2, that is nothing. I can just open up my friends list on Steam right now and see people who have almost double that amount of playtime. And even then, there are people out there with much, much more. There's a guy out there that has 90,000 hours on Dota 2. Why? I don't know. Maybe in their mind they think that after 10,000 hours you unlock the Grass DLC. Now, this individual might have gotten this absurdly high number through cheesing Steam or having multiple instances of the game running at a given point. However, I do have a story to tell you guys. There's a Dota 2 player out there who has the most amount of matches that is verifiably true. Their playtime might not be the highest, but at least people can track every game that they've played. And they've been playing for a long time. And just look at how many games they've played. Keep in mind, the average Dota match can last anywhere from 40 minutes to 2 hours. And for some comparison, the guy with the most amount of Dota 2 hours, yeah, I've played more matches than them.
Jesus Christ, Argo, this is not a flex. Why are you saying it like it's a flex? This isn't a flex, goddammit.
And the best part of all, they're still stuck at the lowest Dota ranked. Yeah, ranked hell is real. Now, I don't want you to get the wrong message from this video. I'm not saying that you can't be a true fan if you don't have hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of hours. No, of course not. Playtime does not equate to passion. For example, I've only played Half-Life Alyx maybe 3 times from start to finish, and I'm a massive Half-Life Alyx fan. I actively look for people's playthroughs and VODs of them playing this game just because I genuinely find a lot of enjoyment out of people's initial reaction to this magnificent game. And my playtime hours ain't that high on it. Yes, me, Argonax, the famous online YouTuber. One might even call me a fake Valve fan. Okay, the reason that I'd have next to no playtime in most of these games is because I played most of them through pirated copies. Listen man, I was a broke-ass kid back then, and the only Steam games that I owned were priced at free-to-play. Hence why TF2 was my first Steam game ever. I went onto my Discord and asked the people on there to showcase their playtime on Valve games, and well, my point stands true. Some of them have less, some of them have more, but all of them undeniably love Valve games. And it shows. If you really wanted to simplify and dumb down this video, let's put it like this. Travis has 5,000 hours in Fortnite. Jimmy has 5,000 hours in TF2. Both of these guys love playing their respective games. But, in my opinion, Jimmy has a lot more passion and love for his game than Travis does for theirs. Or maybe this is just cope. Probably. I've never played Fortnite in my life and I have no plans to do so. Ignore me, I'm an old man, okay? Jesus Christ. I'll also take this opportunity to plug my Discord. Go ahead and join it. Link below in the video description. Me, myself, you already saw how many hours I have in Dota, but I feel like I could definitely sink a bit more time in other Valve games. It is for that reason why, for the next couple of weeks, whenever I have free time, I will be streaming TF2 with the title of me trying to reach that coveted 1K hour mark. So at the bare minimum, at least I can brag that I have finished the tutorial for TF2. Not really, I'm just joking. The TF2 tutorial ended when all the bots got banned. Hey. But what do you think, Internet Wanderer? Do you also agree that Valve games invoke a lot more play hours and passion from its gamers compared to other games with similar amount of play hours? Are you really gonna say that a person who has thousands of hours on Cookie Clicker has the same amount of passion as somebody who plays Counter-Strike? Actually, don't answer that. If there's one group of people who hate Counter-Strike more than anyone else, it's Counter-Strike players, so don't answer that. Anyway, comment your thoughts on whether or not you agree with me, and while you're down there, share your playtime hours on your favorite Valve games. Tell you what, as a fun little game, whoever has the most amount of hours in Half-Life 1, I will pin their comment down below. And that's gonna be it for me, Internet Wanderer. Thanks for watching, join the Discord, and do the YouTube things.